Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this video we're going to be carrying on doing the rest of our cladding, or as much as we can do. As you can see, we had to do some when we did our bed, so we're going to carry on in the same style as that and see how it looks. So, this is our remaining cladding that we've got. I think we've actually estimated how much we might need pretty well. We might end up needing a little bit more.
I was just thinking it doesn't look like we've got very much left.
It's more than you think. So yeah, we're going to probably start off with the bulkhead over there, because that's fairly easy. There's only one place on there where we need to think about, and that's where the socket's going to be, in the kitchen.
So yeah, the cladding is same stuff as everywhere. It's the traditional softwood cladding from Wicks. 8mm thick, it's thin. It's pretty thin, it's really light. Some of them are a little bit better than others, so we have probably about 95% we can actually use. There's a few pieces that have just come out and they split a bit, but generally it's pretty good. I'm just going to kind of start building up from the bottom there. Also quite flexible as well, so it's the same stuff we used on the ceiling. On the ceiling we just put the brown osmo oil in it, and it does mean that we were able to get that nice like curve, and it's stayed up so far. It hasn't had any problems with it, so yeah, this should actually be the much easier part in comparison. I think this is the first part of the van build we're doing, where we've got pretty much square straight edges to work
probably.
from. Should be a dream. It's not bad, is it?
No, so it's getting there. So at the moment, obviously it's not up. We're just doing this for measurements before we varnish and paint them. But yeah, I think we're going to have to call it a day because it's so cold I can barely even feel my lips. So I think we'll carry on tomorrow and yeah, just do these little bits.
Yeah, we also remembered that we need to actually put a couple more just battens here for the ones that are going this way across, so they have something to screw into.
Right, something for the cladding to screw onto now. There we go.
Just got to, just for this one, just cut out a little notch so that it'll slide in a little bit nicer, because we're not sure exactly where the other bits are going to come up and meet it, so just to make sure there's going to be no gap showing. So yeah, just going to use our handy contour tool again. Should be all we need to take out.
Cool.
Hopefully I'll just slide straight into place. One, there we go. How's it going, Abby?
Alright, we're just trying to figure out where the batten is behind the cladding so that we can then screw in through the cladding into the right place. Otherwise it's just going into insulation board. Just drawing around it so that when we do the screw holes we'll just go in the middle of those.
So we managed to get the varnish on yesterday and we dried it in the house overnight, but today the weather is horrible, so we've brought everything inside the van instead. This is the first time we've actually been working in the van like this, isn't it?
This is not ideal. Hope we don't get toxic fumes, but we've got the fan on. Hopefully that'll be enough. So when we did the cladding for when we did the bed, we originally used knotting solution to cover all these knots because we didn't want the sap from them to bleed through the paint eventually down the road. But unfortunately that took a lot of coats of paint after that to cover it up. We were doing coat after coat after coat. Never really worked. So then we discovered that there's this thing called Zinsabin, which is like a shellac based primer and it can cover practically anything. So we then put a layer of that on, then painted on top, and it covered everything. So we do wish we'd known about that before, but at least we know about it now, and it can dry in temperatures of -1 upwards, so ideal for our weather. Oops.
So the wind has died down quite a lot, so we've been able to put the awning up and come outside again, which gives us a lot more space.
A lot easier. So now we're going to get on with putting the actual paint on, which is what we've gone for is Dulux quick dry eggshell white cotton. pretty much use that everywhere else, just trying to use the same stuff really. Okay, so that's them all ready to put up. We ended up putting 2 layers of Zitzabin and then 2 layers of our top coat on, and that was enough to cover all the knots on there. We've also done all the screw holes, so now it's just a matter of putting it on there.
We'll get halfway up and have to make some more boards.
It's really hard. We can't really do big batches in one go because there's just nowhere undercover really to paint it in a big space, so I'm just going to have to keep going like that, I think. Got to the last one that we've currently made for now, and we're just going over this little windowsill that we've got here. Unfortunately, this last one we've got, if we did that, creates a bit of a gap there, and it's unlikely, but we don't really want anything to fall through there, and also it just looks a bit unsightly. So what we've done is we've made this little insert, which is just a bottom piece of cladding. We could put that there, and then we're just going to slide over it like that. There we go. Nice. And then just pull that one back a bit. Probably.
Without breaking it.
Without breaking it. Yeah, and we don't even really need to glue that or anything.
There we go.
Okay.
Got a bit of a wall. Got to make more pieces now.
The fun part is over really quickly. It's not fair.
Describe this the wrong way round. It would have been good if it was upside down. Oops.
It's alright, it's the end of the day. You're a bit tight.
It's all the really hard ones. like this one up here, fine. I've messed up the easy one.
There we go.
So we've got another batch of cladding ready to go on this part now. We did think about like doing it on here and painting afterwards, but because we're varnishing the back, that should be quite tricky. And also, we found that like I'm not the neatest with the paint in the van. I'm sure if I did it in here, I'm going to spill something. So we like this way. It's a nice, neat finish. It just means it's going to take a little while. And then these are our nice little plugs we got.
Ooh.
Really like these. We're going to install those later on because haven't got the wiring set up for the AC side yet. But we've just made that cutout. So hopefully, when this goes in, it should look something like that.
Very nice. Feels nice to have one wall done, at least. The bottom part of these are going to be the backs of our kitchen cabinets. We thought it was just easier to actually just go all the way along, and then it just acts as the back plates. So yeah, it's not going to look completely white like this. We'll have our countertops here.
Yeah, at the moment it looks a little bit sailor themed.
It does, doesn't it?
It's like we're in a boat or something from that side.
Yeah.
It's going to look good though, isn't it?
Yeah, it will.
Abby's using her artistic eye to make sure it's a nice curve going down the door.
You can't really do it any other way than by eye. It's a bit
Well, you're
tricky.
doing a good job. Looks awesome.
I'm trying.
Me too, I'm doing the cutting. It's a team effort.
Yeah. What you up to over there, Tim?
Well, we've got loads of these scraps of insulation left, so we thought we might as well use up some of them to cover up some of these last little spots of metal on the van. So
All helps.
yeah, seems a waste to seems a shame to waste them. I'm trying to say. Yeah, cool. It's all very silver now.
Spaceship. So we've had this bulkhead wall done for, what, a day? And we're already getting signs of intruders.
When did he come in?
I have no idea. They are sneaky.
What we're worried about is them going and like destroying half the carpet.
Yeah.
Jackson, was this you?
Perpetrator appears. And goes.
It's quite satisfying now being able to fill in these gaps from when we did the ones for the bed.
Storm Eunice come through today. Not sure we're going to get much done on the one.
Not too nice out there. So the storms have passed and it's a much nicer day today. It's the first nicest day we've had in a long time actually. And the first task we're doing today is we've decided we want to thread one more wire through our existing conduit before we build up this wall. So we're trying for the first time to see if the string that we put in worked. We've just tied our new wire to it and hopefully we can just put it through.
Okay.
Was that it? Nice. Sweet. Yeah, so we wanted to run an extra wire because there is a second input on our shunt which allows it to monitor the voltage of the van battery, auxiliary connection. We just tested it, we thought actually that's quite useful, so we decided we're going to run a wire there. Why not? It'll be pretty hard to do if we don't do it now.
It's too wide, unfortunately. I think it would fit down that end, look. Probably just
so close.
a couple mil difference down this end.
Oh well, take two.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
It's alright. Yeah, how's it look?
It's pretty good.
Oh,
It's going to look pretty awesome when it's all painted.
nice.
So the way we're doing this is we're cutting all the boards to be the right size first, and then we're taking them down again and prepping them all and sanding them and stuff like that. And we're also pre-drilling the holes and countersinking them for where the screws are going to go. And then we got this little scrap of wood that's actually been really useful as a template. Just got a couple of holes in there for exactly the middle of this bit of wood. And then once we've got one, we're just using it as a template to drill through and make all the other ones. And then right on the end here, it's obviously just halfway in between. It's a very tight space. So the boards we cut for under the window are drying, so now we're going to start tackling this wall, which is quite a big bit, but it's going to look hopefully pretty good when it's done. We've got a lot of boards to cut. It would have to be just a little bit too high to go under there, wouldn't it?
Oh well. So we've got to another awkward switch/socket section. That's a lot of S's. So yeah, we're trying to decide where our socket next to our bed is going to go. Originally we were thinking that this would just go nicely in that piece of cladding there, but we're thinking because our mattress is 12 centimetres, probably come to about here. There will be a gully here, but we think just to make it a bit nicer for ourselves, what we might do is make it so that the socket is just butt up against that batten there, and then the pieces of cladding, it will just split across two of them, I think.
Got this little template from the people we got the plugs from. It's actually pretty good, so we can just drill through these spots. If we line it up properly, it should be perfect. And then we just try to make it so that it's going to be hopefully fairly central with the sockets there and the switches there. Figured that's the best way around to do it, with the switches on the left hand side. So yeah.
It took a while to decide that though, didn't it? Seems ridiculous.
You wouldn't think it would, but you're going to be using the sockets and the switches every day, so you wanted to be able to like sit here, reach for the socket, and not have to go past the light switches and hit them, stuff like that, and also be able to hit the switches from outside.
like that. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That looks really good. Slowly getting there.
Oh, this is so tedious.
Each board is a custom fit, isn't it? Taking a long time, especially when one breaks. This one here was a bit of a nightmare. So this might not look like much, but this bit of wall, the bits that are not painted, has basically taken us an entire day.
So we're just working on making all the screw holes for putting our pieces of cladding on. We've also got these brackets here that we put the window frames on with, and that does affect it when it sits on there with the cladding. So we're going to just router out a little notch for those to sit more comfortably on. That's what Tim is doing right now.
I think that should be about the right depth. Let's go for it. There we go. Finding the router is one of our favourite tools. Just useful for everything. That would have taken ages otherwise. Right, that should fit on now. What a treat to be able to do this outside for once. Can't remember the last time we could actually do this.
This is the warmest I felt outside in months. There we go. Got there in the end.
Nice. It's actually looking quite finished in that corner
It
now.
does, look nice and boxed in, doesn't it? Yeah, look at that line that we cut. I'm impressed with that. Yeah, looking good.
You ready to do your next puzzle?
Yeah, I think so.
Got all the pieces?
Yep, all ready. Okay, I think that's us done for the day, but I'm very happy with how that looks.
It's looking a lot more like a campervan here now, isn't it? We made sure when we put in the windows in to measure it with a bit of cladding behind so we had enough space to slot those in. And then what we've done, so hopefully this is going to work, we took the tongue off just to the end of these two boards because we thought it might be useful that if we can get to the electronics area behind this. So in theory, this bit of panel should be removable. We'll see. And then obviously none of this is in yet properly. That should just come out. So this should now be able to slide out. Slide forward and out. There we go. That's not actually too bad. And then this is a separate piece. And then this just comes out. So we've still got access to... There we go. We've still got access to where the plug area is if we need to for any reason. But I'm glad we've done that. I think that could actually be quite useful in the future. Second layer of this since I've been for a while. Got a bit of a love-hate relationship with this stuff. It's really good, but it's also quite messy. Worked out that disposable gloves are a must, and it's quite a pain to clean up. Do you think that bit's going to do anything, Abby? If you're warm in like somewhere near the Arctic, it'll be because of that. So today we've been at it for about 12 hours, and all we've managed to achieve is basically this tiny little bit along the top of these pieces of cladding here. We've been going back and forwards lots of times trying to figure out the best way to make the ceiling and the wall join nicely, and in the end what we've done is actually quite simple, but it was very fiddly. There's a tiny amount of clearance just behind the ceiling, so we're able to just extend each board just the right amount. It looks like it should have only taken about half an hour. How do you feel, Abby?
I'm so done with this. We were up till about, I don't know, 1 AM last night, just making sure that we could get these finished so that we could just put them in today and then be done. Just be enough space to pop this in and rest it down, and then the opposite to get it out so that we can access these wires, but also that it's nice and flush there.
There we go.
So we'll just screw them in now, and then that's us done, I think. For this side anyway, don't look at that side.
Still a lot to do on that side.
We can't really do this side because the shower's going to go here. And if we start putting cladding up here, it's just pointless because probably not going to have cladding behind the shower. Why would we do that? So yeah, just look at this. So the last thing just to finish off is we've made some little inserts. One to go across the sliding door there and one for our hatch here. There we go.
The last stretch, Abby. Come on, you can do it. This should be the easy part.
No, it's going in there. Just here. It's being annoying. Oh.
Nice. Did it.
Oh. That took a long time. So we just thought of one last thing that's quite satisfying that we can do, which is screwing in this little light switch here. We do need to rewire it a little bit in the future, but we just thought it might be nice to see what it looks like.
We're going to have to take it out to get the plugs wired in because they're obviously they're just dummy at the moment.
But I really like that. Looks good, doesn't it?
Looks nice, yeah.
Yay.
Awesome. So I think that's about as much of the cladding as we're going to do for now, which is good because it's satisfying seeing up, but it has taken a lot of effort and time to get to this point, hasn't it?
A lot of time. So yeah, that's it. We'll catch you next time.